I think it has to start with some policy, right? I think governments need to take some accountability for this. COVID was like a real eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the mask shortage? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what a mask making machine costs?
No.
$12,000.
Wow.
You can buy them on Alibaba. It's $12,000. And we couldn't do it, right? We couldn't figure it out. We couldn't like solve the problem. And I think that was like the most in your face example of why you something has to be done at a policy level. Like we could not give her, I remember I worked on a project with a hospital to create this UV sanitizer so they could reuse masks. That was my contribution. And so I pointed out to somebody from the government. I was like, you can buy these on Alibaba. And they said, well, we couldn't get them in anywhere. There's tariffs. It's complicated. And I was like, you know what you can do then? Pay them $1,000 for the solid model. Just give me the design and we can use a very low cost fabricator over here. I can get you a robot. And so like, that was like the greatest in your face example. Like we've got to figure out the things that are mission critical and be able to produce them anywhere. And then there's other things that like are just good for the environment. Maybe make local for local. And local for local does a couple of things. One, it allows you to hyper tune for your local customer. It completely negates the crazy amount of inventory that's stuck on the supply chain. Right now it's 2 months, right? You got a month on the water from China, and then you got a month stuck in port waiting for some inspector.
Yep.
Like local for local gets that down to like a week's worth of inventory. So asset velocity goes up, profit goes up. It actually probably, once the flywheel is spinning, it's probably cheaper. And so we have to do that. But when you say, how do I address the skills gap? I look at it from two ways. One, we have to upskill our workforce. And today, the way that it works is if an operator is using a complicated machine, they might use pedals or they might put their fingers in little sensors to index it, but they don't actually have the ability to edit what the machine does. What if they see a bunch of parts that are coming in that are a little bit non-conforming? Well, they have to call the support engineer. The support engineer comes out and validates what they saw. And then that support engineer calls the local SI. They schedule a tech to come out and modify a recipe. They recompile this, push it to the PLC, stand there and make sure that it works for a little while, sign off and then leave. And like this whole thing, this still has an operator there standing there watching this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Our belief is, why doesn't the operator just go over and plug in this offset? It triggers an alert for a local engineer to validate this change. They can do this from their phone. Boom, no stop. So we're going to upskill, kind of the capability of the operator to begin. And then, what does it do for the controls engineers, right? So don't be super nervous. We're not gonna make you obsolete, but your capability will be 4 to 5x, right? The idea is not to eliminate the controls engineer. Like you can still go in behind the GUI and actually go in and tweak the text if you'd like. But we're going to give you the ability for the really simple things to 4x your productivity. And especially the things that you're like, oh, I don't want to go on site to go deal with this. It's so trivial. You're going to be able to go in straight through a web browser, hit the back end and make this change, and then look at a camera inside and say, yep, that's what I was looking for, go. And it's done. And so upskilling the operator to get them to more of that technician skill, which is where we need them to be anyway. And it's a job that they're going to like more, and they're going to respect more, and they'll be more versatile. And then taking our automation resources and 4xing their productivity. If you used to deploy 50 robots a year in your small SI shop with the same resources, we're going to get you to 200. It's kind of the goal.